Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm Ryan, your host, and today we're talking security. So let's get started. So here in front of me I have a new type of camera. I had the Arlo cameras on the channel before. I've been using the Arlo cameras in the past, but unfortunately they're charging a subscription fee now to access your footage in the cloud if you buy their new cameras. So I'm trying out this company. It's Tonton, I think that's how you say it. It's Consumer Security Experts. I found this on Amazon. Got a pretty good price on it. I got it on sale. And I think it's gonna do the job. So we're gonna open this, just kind of take a look around, see what's in the box. This set did not come with a hard drive pre-installed. So I went out and purchased an Iron Wolf Seagate hard drive to go with this system. So hopefully we can install that in this video. So it looks like we have a box in a box sort of situation going on here. We'll start with the smaller box. So this is the HD digital video recorder. This is what is going to be storing all those clips from your cameras. And you can actually view these in the cloud. This system did say it had that option and it should be free. If you know any more details about this system, please leave a comment below. I'm very curious to see the longevity of the system and how it does over an extended period of time. There's a good chance if you buy security cameras, you're probably going to be keeping them for a while because they are pretty expensive. Okay, so in our first box, the HD digital recorder box, it looks like we have a manual that has come with it, a couple AA batteries, a mini CD. Just pop it open, and it looks like it comes with a sticker too that you can put on your building, just so everyone knows that the area is being recorded. Looks like you can set it up with Amazon Alexa, so that's pretty high tech for a system that is very comparable to the Arlo systems that I'm used to. Okay, so let's just continue taking everything out of here. It looks like this is a small DVD for the DVR. I've actually personally never used a DVR before, so this is something new for me. I'm used to the Arlo system where it's pretty much all set up for you. So looking at the DVR, pretty simple design. So it looks like you have a display port to see what's going on with your system. You have your internet connection, you got even HDMI. This is a USB. I believe it can be used as a backup for recording, or it can be used for a mouse. And then you have all your video inputs, and then you have some audio inputs that you could have. So I'm guessing the audio inputs doesn't have to be in the same spot as the visual if you have like a mic that you might want to plug in. So that's pretty cool, and you can also listen to what's happening in your system with the audio output. So I might connect this to maybe a monitor in the future, just to kind of see how that works. I'm not too sure about the setup process so far, but I just wanted to kind of see what was in the box and see where the hard drive goes. It looks like we might have to take some things apart to put a hard drive into this system. Hopefully I can do that. I'll have to read the instructions and get back to that at the end of the video. Okay, so let's take a look at what's in the next box. This box should be all the cameras. It's the heavier box. So there's no label on this box. I'm just going to go ahead and open it. Okay, so it looks like I'm presented with a lot of wire. They've packed this really tightly in here. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. There's enough wire here to do the whole job. I believe these are in 60-foot sections. So these should extend to anywhere on your property. Most people live in a 100-foot lot, at least here in Canada. So this should do the job. If you do need longer cables, there are longer cables available on Amazon. And this is not sponsored or anything. I did buy this system, so I'm really not sure what I'm getting into. But it seems like really good quality so far. So I'm just going to get all these cables out of the way, and then we can take a look at the camera. Okay, so I believe this is one of the camera units. I'm just going to pop it open. So we'll see what comes with the camera. Okay. So it looks like on this camera unit, we're provided with the 2 wires that you need to actually hook up to your DVR, and we are also supplied with the camera, and it's already on a mount. So coming from an Arlo system, the mounts, you always have to buy them separately if you want to have this style of mount. They do come with some magnetic mounts, and they do come with one screw-on mount, but it's always nice to have the hardware mount, so that way your camera can't be moved or touched or stolen. These cameras are also waterproof, and they are only 2 megapixels, but they should do it for the job that I'm looking for, what I want them to do. Mostly having the security camera there and having that presence usually deters people from doing anything on your property. And it's nice to have somewhat of a clear image for when someone is on your property. And these are equipped with the infrared lights so that you can see what is happening at nighttime. So this is not 4K, the price tag does reflect that, but at the same time, I don't think I need 4K security cameras in the location I'm putting them in. Since I already have my Arlo 4K cameras, this is more to see what's happening real time on my property. So, so far, what came out of the box, I'm pretty impressed with. This is a 12 camera system, and there are 12 cameras in here. I'm not going to take them all out yet because I'm not installing them just quite yet. It looks like these connectors are pretty simple to use. They're just plug and play. So once you kind of wire where you want all your wires to go, obviously if you're in a house and you don't want to put wires in your walls, or it's very difficult to do, you could probably put them through your attic. For me, this is going to be an external camera system, kind of on a shed type building. So these are going to be easy to install because the walls are not insulated. But if you did have walls in a typical house, these might be harder to install because it's kind of difficult to get those wires in behind. That's why it's nicer to go with a system that's wireless like Arlo. That way you don't have to worry about the wires, but this is nice too because then you don't have to power up the cameras all the time because you have your power line and you have your video feed, so you don't really have to worry about charging those cameras when they go dead. So thanks for watching this. Hope you enjoyed it. Stick around if you want to see me install the hard drive in the system. Okay, so it looks like I am doing this correctly. Hopefully I am. I'm just going to start by removing this top cover. And there's the screws that were included in the packaging for the hard drive. And we'll see what's kind of inside the system. It's always nice when a YouTuber shows you what's inside. Just because sometimes it's a little difficult to know what you're getting in a product, especially nowadays because everything is so hidden and you can't really repair it. So hopefully this system has some sort of repairability to it and that you could swap hard drives possibly in the future. But we'll see how it goes. There's a lot that I'm going to have to learn with this system, and unfortunately it's hard to show that on YouTube because a lot of people might try to compromise your security system. So just showing the setup of it, it's kind of cool though. Okay, so it looks like that last screw removed the top cover. It looks like the cover is coming off. Okay, so we can see what is included in the system. It's actually a very simple computer in here. Very mini computer with a small fan. So I guess the fan is to kind of keep the system cool. Too bad it's not a little bit of a bigger fan, but it's not really that big of a, it's not a big desktop that needs that much cooling, I guess. It is just running video. You do have a battery in here, so that's good to know because sometimes if that battery goes dead, you might have to replace that. It's unfortunate they didn't put a bigger fan. I would have really liked a bigger fan. It looks like there is a second spot for a fan. Doesn't look like you can install one though, but that's okay. So for this system, you can go up to a 6 terabyte hard drive. I didn't go that high. I went to the 4 terabyte range just due to COVID. Hard drives are kind of hard to purchase right now, and the 4 terabyte hard drive was on sale in my area. I know there has been some supply chain issues, especially with graphics cards. So I'm going with the Seagate Iron Wolf NAS drive. So NAS stands for Network Attached Storage, and what this hard drive is going to give me is the ability to write to it constantly. You could go with something like an SSD, but I prefer the standard hard drive. It's not going to be moved. If I do lose the footage on this, I'll probably have a USB device plugged in, so I can still access that footage, hopefully. And hopefully I'll never have to use the footage. So what's nice about this system so far, what I'm looking at, is these cables are just standard desktop cables, and if I really needed to change them, I probably could do that myself. If something overheated. Now obviously the board is something that you couldn't replace, but if you needed to replace a cable, I could probably replace a data cable without any issues. Usually that's not what's wrong with the system, but it's nice that there is some repairability to the system versus no repairability at all, like other systems like the Arlo system. So just plug your data port in, and then you have to plug in your power. What you do is you just line up that L notch and you just plug it in. Now what's nice, you heard that click, it's in, is this system has those L-shaped brackets to not put any strain on the cables as you're putting them into the machine. Just be careful, there's a couple of data cables that are kind of in the way. I should probably put those underneath just to make it easier. I wonder if I can just kind of slip it in. Those cables kind of went in stiffly. Okay, so it looks like it's glowing in just fine. Okay, so just be careful of that data cable. They kind of put it in a bad spot. Now you could wrap up your cables if you wanted to, but I don't think it's going to get that hot that it's going to need that. This will all just get pushed down afterwards. So to install this hard drive, there are screws on the bottom that you have to put in, and they came with some screws. Hopefully these screws fit. I do not have my toolkit with me, so it's always nice to keep the screws if you ever build a PC, because those screws will come in very handy if you don't have any. Now, it's always nice to have a partner when you're doing this to kind of hold the hard drive for you. If you don't and you're like me, you just do it very slowly until you line up the holes on the bottom. And you kind of have to see which holes it's actually going to line up with. That is the challenging part here. There have been times where I haven't even installed the screws in the hard drives if it's an SSD. Because it's not really needed, like there's no moving parts. But with a hard drive, like a typical hard drive like this, you do have to install those screws to make sure that it's not wiggling around on you inside of your system. Now, what I like to do is I don't install the screws tight down on the first one. I just do them very loosely, and I'll put all of them in loosely. You can see how I'm installing them there. You know, it's a little bit difficult with the camera angle. Always helpful if you have someone filming. I don't have anyone currently, so just bear with me. Okay, so I have 2 out of the 4 screws installed. Now, these screws, they're lining up with different holes. It looks like you can put an SSD in here if you'd like. They are a little bit more expensive, but for me, what I'm looking for is something that's going to record at least a couple weeks of video, maybe at least a week, hopefully. It's not a high traffic area, so that way the video is there if I do need it and it's not re-recorded over. And I believe there are some settings that you can change. I'm not sure if there is motion settings, but that would be nice if you could just make it motion triggered. But this system can run 24/7. This is what I want to call a professional grade system. It is pretty nice so far. Compared to the Arlo system is more like the Apple, I want to say, and this is more like the Windows PC where it's more modifiable. Okay, so I got our hard drive installed. It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere with those 4 screws. And it looks like we had some rubber here. I'm not sure what that's for. I'm just going to check with the instructions just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, so it looks like that's all we had to do to install this hard drive. Very simple. Unfortunately, I can't continue the rest of the setup in this video because I do need a monitor, and I don't have a monitor with me currently. I'll have to pick it up from my parents' house. But yeah, so far, pretty nice system. I'm just gonna reinstall all these screws. If you want to see a video of how the system looks once it's installed, drop a comment down below. I can probably make that video for you if you wanted to. Other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.